Wait for it. Wait for it. Here we go. You know. So with that,
Yeah, niggas so back in the days we all used to now shit is so whack, nobody to that real hip hop, yo. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready.
what up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy. How y'all been? How y'all been? Seeing that smooth face, that smooth taste. You understand what I'm saying, baby? So, back in it. Had to take a little bit of time off, man. You know, sometimes things just get a little heavy. You understand what I'm saying, baby? And this don't pay bills yet. So, sometimes you got to prioritize. That's all it is. So, I apologize to y'all who've been looking for me. Sorry, I'm back. There we go. How you doing? How you doing? So, you know what? This week, I'm going to talk about distractions. All right. Let's start with the coronavirus distraction. That's right. I said distraction. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not that you shouldn't take a disease seriously, but are we taking this disease too seriously? What is it, first of all? Now, according to the Department of Health in Pennsylvania, this is from their website, what is the coronavirus? The coronavirus is a large family of viruses, some causing illness in people and others circulating among animals, including camels, cats, and bats. The 2019 novel coronavirus is a new virus that causes respiratory illness in people and can spread from person to person. This virus was first identified during an investigation into an outbreak in Wuhan, China. Now, what made me even do this video to begin with was I was talking to a lady on Friday, and she was saying that the coronavirus is just the common cold. It's just another strain of the common cold. And it made me realize, made me kind of go back when SARS was around. And when that virus or pandemic or whatever was around, it was getting the same exact attention. Everybody was in fear. They weren't going to China and other Asian areas, but I think it was mainly China. But here's the thing, too. Me and Cookie were at Walmart the other day, just picking up a couple of things. And we went to go get some waters, and all the waters were cleared out. And there was a guy standing there who I was going to say downloads the waters, who puts the waters in their place. And he said as soon as he was putting the waters down, people were standing there picking them up. It was completely cleared out. And then I found out that there were places where toilet paper was completely gone and things like that. Let me say something, man. I'm the type of person that throughout life, I realize fear is a motivator. It can motivate you to do things and it can motivate you to not do things. But it's a motivator. And if you don't harness it, you can lose out. You can lose out. And so I'm the type of person that looks at these things and I go, it's not to not take it seriously, but I'm not going to take it as seriously as everybody else. We're just going stone cold bananas. That's what it is. Everybody's going bananas over this. Don't you think? Don't you think everybody's going bananas? Now, of course, I do things to kind of provoke thought, but I really believe that this is just a distraction. Let's get back into it. All right, some of the symptoms. Symptoms include fever, cough, shortness of breath. Almost sounds like a cold. The symptoms may appear in as few as 2 days or as long as 14 days after exposure. Reported illnesses have ranged from people with little to no symptoms to people being severely ill and dying. Let's go into how can it be spread. Human coronavirus is spread just like the flu or a cold. through the air by coughing or sneezing, close personal contact such as touching or shaking hands, touching an object or surface with the virus on it, occasionally fecal contamination. Woo, that's shitty. How do you protect yourself? Cover coughs or sneezes with your elbow. Do not use your hands. Wash hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer if soap and water are not available. Clean surfaces frequently, including countertops, light switches, cell phones, remotes, and other frequently touched items. Contain. If you are sick, stay home until you are feeling better. Now, just like SARS, you see people walking around and they got the face masks on and all that. Should you be doing that? Well, according to the website, the CDC does not recommend wearing masks or respirators outside of workplaces settings in the community. A respirator is a personal protective device that is worn on the face or head and covers at least the nose and mouth. Most often, spread of respiratory viruses from person to person happens among close contact within 6 feet. It is important that these devices are readily available to healthcare workers and others who need them. Okay, so now that we kind of got that out the way, got the basics down, the thing that was interesting to me is I saw this video that was a news clipping from somewhere else to kind of stress how important the coronavirus is. All right, so I found this video that had to do with a teacher who had contracted the virus, but there was something weird about. Let's just go into it.
Yeah, for the most part, it is government health officials who determine who gets tested for coronavirus. But now some people are saying, more and more actually, that there should be more and more people getting tested, especially those who are especially susceptible to this sort of disease.
I'm a high school science teacher.
Diane Gorman teaches at Jackson High, where one student has contracted the coronavirus. A handful of people at the school were identified as being at risk after having come into contact with the student and are being monitored for the virus. Diane Gorman was not one of them. You'd think that would bring a relief, but Gorman already has a rare disease and is immunocompromised. She believes she's experiencing symptoms, but because she isn't on that watch list, she can't get tested. The science teacher says she's been told she isn't sick enough to get tested, and she worries if she does get to that point, it may be too late.
So by the state not being able to test people unless they are literally in the hospital, dying or on this very short list of who they consider in danger, they are putting the most vulnerable of their population in incredible risk. It's very easy to dismiss us as a group, but to not care about 2.5% of your population that could die from this disease as it spreads, which is basically the message we're sending if we are not going to test anyone except the very, very ill, then that disease is going to sweep through and kill the people that are susceptible.
We've tried to get some answers from county health officials here today, but they would not comment specifically on Diane Gorman's case, except to say that perhaps she didn't meet the CDC guidelines for testing, or that her doctor may not have been able to rule out other causes for her symptoms, like the common flu. In Everett.
Now that is weird to me. Now, if this is such a bad disease, if this is at the levels that people are afraid and they're wearing face masks and all of that, then why would this teacher be denied testing? Being tested to see if she even has it. You understand what I mean? It's amazing how this world works, and things are done right in our face, and we don't pay attention to them because we just go on with our business, Sometimes I go through life like that, where I don't pay attention to stuff. I just move on. As long as it's not something that's going to stress me, I just continue to move on, But I figure let me touch on this because it's a constant. It's constant. And out here in Nevada, where we're hearing about outbreaks in California and stuff, to see a grocery store completely empty of waters, it's just mind-blowing, Population control. Let me just throw that word out there. Population control. There's something odd about what's going on with this. You have the coronavirus, which I understand has been around for a long time. This isn't new. The fact that it even said coronavirus, if you recall earlier in the broadcast, it called the coronavirus it's the 2019 coronavirus. You know, so it's like the measles, it's like the common cold. These things, these diseases, they just come around and they just exist, and we get shots for them and all sorts of stuff. It's just a whole nother thing of smoke. But to me, it's a distraction. To me, it's a distraction. Would you agree? That's the whole point of what I'm doing. Is I'm trying to get you. You know, I know somebody's listening and watching this post and they're going, but I'm dead serious. This is a distraction. There's other things going on besides this. You know, not to say that it should not get any news at all. All I'm saying is it seems to be getting too much news and it's causing too much problems as far as I'm concerned. But does it bother you? What do you think? Feel free to comment below. That's what this is all about. And don't forget to like, comment, share, unless it's coronavirus related, and donate. Later.
This concludes the broadcast from World Control.
Let's pretend like this never happened.